Hey, hello, welcome. This is Dr. Jim, and I have a great question for you. What does ADHD type symptoms, plantar fasciitis, and ICU doctors all have in common? Well, stay tuned. We're going to find out. Hey, thanks so much for joining me today. I just wanted to ask myself this question. I was out walking around and it popped in my head. We all breathe too much. We all breathe too quickly. And the question becomes pretty rapidly, well, what do you mean breathe too much? Don't we have to breathe to stay alive? It's like, well, yeah, but the point is that when you breathe too much in an uncontrolled manner, what ends up happening is the chest gets dragged up in front of you and opens up really wide, making your back body, particularly your rib cage, down into your lower back, really arch. And what that can do, along with the actual inhalation stimulation, so the inhalation stimulation and the backward bending or extension that goes through your spine, what it does is it fires up your sympathetic response. It gets you really activated. And so in the case of ADHD, it can help keep your mind racing and alert, which in some situations might be very, very helpful. And in other situations, not so helpful at all. Now, I'm not talking about folks that have actual brain chemistry changes that require medication to help them balance out. What I'm talking about is the massively increasing rate of ADHD in our population. And, some of it is absolutely mental brain organization and neurochemicals, but some of it is the fact that we all breathe too much. And as far as the plantar fasciitis, well, when you get yourself in a situation where your body is arching backward and your ribs are being pulled up and out, and you're doing that same thing, that stimulates a neurologic drive, which puts you onto your toes. So, rightfully so, thank you very much. Automatic postural control strategies. Your brain goes, whoa, I don't want to fall forward. So I'm going to press my balls of my feet down really hard into the ground to not fall forward. But that is helpful if you don't fall forward, but it doesn't help if you're not able to help relax that whole system so that your heels will come back to the ground, shutting off the tissues underneath your feet, the plantar fascia and the plantar muscles, and then the calves and the quads and the lower back, these things that typically go in hand with plantar fasciitis problems and also anterior knee or like by the kneecap, front of the kneecap problems. This system is being driven because of the way you breathe too much, too quickly, uncontrolled, drives you into this posture. And so the last thing that I mentioned was ICU doctors. We had this massive, uncontrolled, worldwide phenomenon called COVID-19 pandemic, in which so many crazy and horrific things happened. And in retrospect, a lot of very positive things also came out of it. And one of the things that we learned that was actually reinforcing is the fact that when you lie on your belly, it actually helps you breathe better, as long as you have something to lie on, like a big belly or some pillows or a ball, which I'll get to in just a little bit. What that does is it helps to push pressure backward into your back body, so you no longer are opening up the front of your body quite so much. And what they learned in the ICUs is if you put people on their stomachs with some pillow support, they actually live better. They don't go into the ICU as bad. They don't stay there as long, and their survival rates are much higher. So that's really powerful to think about. Three seemingly unrelated things: ADHD symptoms, plantar fasciitis, knee pain, low back pain, kind of group all those together. And then ICU breathing doctors who are considering how to help people survive. It all has the same starting point for correcting or improving. And what I call this is ball shape. So what happens is when your body is being breathing in deeply, deeply, really aggressively, you end up getting this back arching position, which brings the front of your body open. But if you're able to bring that back body down and around and manage the front of you a little bit and manage the side body of you a little bit, then what happens is when you take a breath in, it actually starts pushing expansion backward into the back of your body. And what that does is it reverses all the things we're talking about. As you start to slow down and get used to the probably uncomfortable position of breathing on your body, what that does is it starts to move air in the back of your body, lowers your respiration rate, lowers your heart rate, calms your sympathetic fight or fight drive, and it helps you relax. It also brings expansion into the lower lungs, particularly in the back body, more efficiently. So you actually breathe more effectively, shutting down the ADHD type racing thoughts, can't control things, bouncing all over the place, calms that down, reduces the drive to be on your toes, which causes all kinds of problems. I only mentioned 3 of them: plantar fasciitis, front of knee pain, and lower back pain. And it also helps you breathe better. So when you combine the position of ball position with slowing down your breath and actually learning to tolerate that uncomfortable sensation of the need to breathe or air hunger, when you start bringing all these things together, it actually starts correcting and helping to improve a vast majority of things. And so now the question becomes, how can one simple thing, making a ball shape with your body, and I'll show you in just a moment how to do that in a passive, gentle, easeful way, how can this one thing start changing all of these other problems that are seemingly unrelated? Well, it all has to do with this concept of the human body being a miraculous machine. It's something I like to call the superhuman state, because all of us, all 8.3 billion with a B of us, all basically overwhelmingly have the same anatomy. There's differences between internal organ parts. There's differences in some different areas, but in general, we are all the same inside. And so we all have this potential to get out of control and be all bowed up and back arching on our toes. And we also all have the opportunity to take a simple step to calm ourselves down and start reducing the effect of uncontrolled, too much breathing. You can do this before bed and you'll sleep better. It'll even possibly help your insomnia. It is insane how many things are tied to the way your human body manages itself in gravity simply by trying to make a ball shape. So when you make the ball shape and you start to calm yourself down, you start to breathe into your back body more than the front body, and that causes an activation of your superhuman state, which is, in my opinion, the most powerful thing in the world. It is the ability to stop. Stop. Whatever it is you're doing, stop. Breathe softly, gently, as slowly as you can. It might be extremely uncomfortable when you start, but that's okay, because you just change it and try it again later. There's no reason, and as a matter of fact, it's counterproductive to push hard through it. This is not a push hard. There is absolutely a time and a place to push hard. And there is also a time and a place to learn to slow down, pause, stop, reflect, and gently breathe and marinate in the sensation of not doing. And so what I'm going to show you here is a couple real quick ways to do it. One thing you can do is get one of those big therapy balls, which I'll show you here in a moment. You can also get into a version of child's pose in like a yoga type tradition. And you can even just sit up with your elbows together. So let me show you those. So if you just want to be sitting, you just sit down with your knees, put your elbows together, bend over, And then there is a ball shape. You can't see with my shirt, but there's the ball shape right now. And as I take a breath, the expansion starts going behind me a little bit more than in front of me. And I'm going to breathe in and out of my nose, slowly as possible, as gently as possible, with feeling and noticing the air flowing in and out of my nose. And that is going to cause relaxation. That is going to help correct ADHD type symptoms. Start the process of reducing the things that are causing your plantar fasciitis, your anterior knee pain. And if you happen to be sick for some reason, including the common cold, COVID, and other things, after you get yourself assessed by a medical professional, of course, it'll help you breathe better, which will help you heal more rapidly and get back to your life more quickly. It is insane how wonderful this is. So give me a moment and I'll show you the ball shape. So here I am. I've got this big therapy ball. You could also do it with a bunch of pillows or even lying over an arm of a couch or something. And I've got a yoga block because I like to support my forehead. And what you're going to do, or a stack of books would work as well. So what you're going to do is lie over this ball and put this yoga block down on the ground. And you're just going to breathe like this. That's it. Breathe slowly, breathe gently, just breathe. The idea is that you're breathing in and out of your nose so you can feel the airflow going up your nostrils, around your forehead, through your sinuses, and then back down. And many, many people have a very big struggle with this. So I strongly encourage you to go slowly, take your time, and stop when you need to, and then try it again. Small doses of either the shape what I made sitting up, or lying down over a ball, or you can even come back into a yoga type pose where I'm going to be in a child's pose with my legs like this, and I'm going to come over, and I've got a very similar position. And the idea is that you're closing off the front of your body and you're trying to allow expansion back into your body, the back rib cage opening up. And that's going to calm your nervous system down. It's going to allow you to drop into your heels to shut off that ball of foot too much. And it's going to make your brain calm down. This is the first step in accessing and reactivating our inherent superhuman state. All of us have this capability. The overwhelmingly vast majority of us, have this ability. I strongly recommend you give it a try. All right, until next time, thank you so very much. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day, and I'll see you around.